I'd like to let the record show that I've never actually said anything bad about Joshua Zirkzee or Altay Bayindir. If you ever see any clips or anything floating around, it's simply AI. Do not be fooled. I gotta tell you, it hasn't been the best few months for referees.
Just to be clear, that last video can't go anywhere.
Months? Make that years, and it looks like the trend is ongoing. Andy Madley had the worst refereeing performance that I've seen in English football since about last week. Petition to get Clement Turpin in for all matches in England, my current GOAT. Some people are more Zeman, Marciniak enjoyers, but no need to compare, just enjoy. Lots of negativity surrounding Arsenal right now, and you know what? When they play like they did there, I can see why. It's ironic that Arsenal were wearing white kits to stand up against crime because someone should be locked up for what we were all watching. Players constantly diving, time wasting while being a man up at home in a knockout game. It makes no sense. From the overall, United didn't have the best game, but performed when it mattered in the moments where it mattered. Luckily for the world and all the previous and future generations to come, football prevailed above all else. Hello, hope you're doing well. I'm Tinashe, welcome back. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been saying that Arsenal just aren't the same team to watch anymore from an ingenuity perspective, from an entertainment perspective, and I think everyone that actually watches them play, they tend to agree with that opinion. But there is a small subset of people that are giving some pushback. I think after this match, opinions have probably shifted quite a bit. So I'm just going to jump straight into it with this video. There is no Premier League drama to talk about. It's just straight up knockout FA Cup football. The first half was a bit of a snooze fest. The second half was where everything happened, and just so we're all on the same page, here's a quick fire round of all the major events. First, United and Garnacho breakthrough after a Gabriel slip, and Fernandes catches the ball with one of the sweetest strikes of the weekend. Dalot gets his second yellow, deservedly. Arsenal equalize through Gabriel, then get a penalty. Bayindir saves the penalty, and pretty much the rest of the match comes down to Arsenal wasting chance after chance only to lose on penalties. And that right there is the whole video. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Now, we're going to go into a little bit more detail and talk about why this match was so divisive. And I think the best way to do that is to go team by team. And on that note, we'll start with the hosts, Arsenal. I have a lot of notes about Arsenal. A lot more than I have about United, which is quite funny to me. I don't remember the last time I've seen so many neutrals band together in unison with Manchester United against anyone, let alone Arsenal, who, in my opinion at least, have kind of been media darlings over the past 3 or so years as they've been fighting back against Man City and been given the title of People's Champion in a sense because of that. You know, they've been playing some of the best football around, really expansive, really dynamic, and then now, all of a sudden, Arteta looks like he's turned heel. Lots of weird comments and press conferences, all this, all that. After this match, he claimed that
we didn't get what we deserved, clearly.
Brother, they definitely deserve the result. I hate to say this, but I think everybody knows this to be true. If United had gone up against any other top 4 side in the Premier League, scratch that, maybe even top 10 side in the Premier League, given the conditions that they had to play under, they would not have walked away from this match with a victory. I mean, take a look at the basic match stats. Don't get me wrong, Arsenal had a subpar performance outside the box, but in the box, they had more than enough opportunities. And you know what? You look at the scoreline here, you look at the set of stats, and you realize that Arsenal must have played badly, but I don't think this does them justice. They played horrendously. Obviously, I'm not going to take anything away from my Man United, who did incredibly and defended incredibly well, but what I'm trying to say is this goes far beyond just missing opportunities. They're becoming increasingly reliant, Arsenal, becoming increasingly reliant on specific match scenarios to get them through. It's not working anymore. And listen, I do understand that injuries are a major issue here, as they are for most Premier League teams, but I know Arsenal and North London in particular has been hit pretty badly. There were a few times where Arsenal were on the break in this match, a lot of the time when they had a numerical advantage, or at the very least, the same number of players attacking the same number of defenders, yet Ødegaard decided to not progress the ball. There were a couple times where the man looks up, sees a soccer-sized hole, and then decides to retreat. And the increase in volume within the stadium when Arsenal were awarded a corner against a team that had a man down is very telling. And United's improvement on defending said corners is equally as telling. You know, you look back to the match they played earlier in the season where Arsenal scored 2 set-piece goals. We had Tyrell Malacia, of all people, marking Havertz at corners, and locking him out of the game. Yes, there was pushing, there was shoving, there was grabbing, there was all that going on, but this is nothing that Arsenal themselves haven't been doing to exploit their corner glitch that's gotten them so many goals this year. Almost every 50-50 went Arsenal's way, and they weren't able to take advantage of that. Kai Havertz was public enemy number 1 over there, with his worst performance I've seen since maybe last week, complete with a dive to the ground and clutching on his face in agony after he himself had been the one doing the face grabbing. Harry Maguire was all of us when Havertz was awarded his pen for diving, calling the man a cheating words that I probably shouldn't say on YouTube. Now, I'm not gonna lie or anything, you guys already know that I am a pretty big Havertz apologist. I do think he's a fantastic player and that when he's in the right system, the man flourishes really well. Further to that, when Arsenal have their full fitness front four, their Saka's there, Martinelli or Trossard, Odegaard, they're all firing well, all providing with, he is a fantastic option for the 9. He's not selfish, he gets out of the way when he needs to get out the way. But right now, it is really hard to defend him. He's on a generational terrible run and he just cannot finish. You know when someone gets away with murder on the pitch and sees no consequences, then goes on to score? I was convinced that this was going to happen, but it turns out that Arsenal may have been done a disservice by him being allowed to stay on the pitch. He misses a good few clear-cut chances, then misses the ultimate pen that sees Arsenal lose. If Arsenal are going to cross the ball this much, they need to at the very least invest in someone who is an actual consistent box threat. Oh, and by the way, I believe Kai Havertz is the highest paid Arsenal player right now. Him and Gabriel Jesus are number 1 and 2, so yeah. By the way, I can't believe I have to say this in big old 2025, but can we please stop harassing players on social media when they play badly? It's just a game.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
You know, I'm pretty sure that a good portion of the people that give these players grief are underage, like maybe early teenagers, and then there are a sect of people who, I guess, bet a lot of their money on football matches, and then when they lose that money, they have to have something or someone to take their frustrations out on. But come on, guys. We can't be having partners of players getting death threats after matches. It's ridiculous. Grow up. Back to the match, I still don't understand why Arsenal were time wasting in this sort of scenario. A knockout game against a team where they have a numerical advantage. It makes no sense to me. At every throw-in, at every corner, they were taking their sweet time. Why? In that situation, it only benefits the other team. Odegaard, to be fair, didn't look like or doesn't look like he's at full fitness just yet. Saka's gone, of course. I don't really understand why David Raya was diving 3 business days before any shot was taken. To be fair, I don't think a lot of people expect a hop penalty kick by Alessandro Martinez of all people. But I also think those people didn't watch him become Kun Aguero against Liverpool last week, so. And things could get worse for Arsenal. They've just played a full 120 minutes and lost days before the North London derby. Pretty sure that I could put a lot of money on Spurs outrunning Arsenal, putting in a lot of work there and making them work for it. And before anyone says it, yes, Spurs almost lost to Tamworth the other day in the final minutes of normal time and needed extra time to see the game through. A team that needed to sellotape the net to the post before the match. But you should all know by now that you can't judge Spurs on any given performance. They could do anything next week, okay? They could play Barcelona tomorrow and beat them 7-1. I don't say this lightly, but we genuinely do not know what they're capable of. We don't know. We just don't know. Except Werner. It seems he can only score against City. And that's all I have for Arsenal, which, you know, comparatively to Man United is quite a lot, at the very least. I'm gonna be straightforward here. It was a fantastic defensive performance from United. First half, second half, before the red card, after the red card, the concentration levels there were amazing. Something is happening there, I think. You know, whatever Amorim is doing, he's doing something. The team seems to be congealing a little bit better and players are improving. I'll say Garnacho, for example. There were like 3 or 4 situations where Garnacho looked like, you know, in the past, he would have either gone for goal himself or done something silly, try to do a skill move, living off of that high that he felt when he scored that goal against Everton. However, in this match, he slows the ball down, he waits for his team to arrive, he passes it off to Bruno Fernandes before he makes that incredible finish. Of course, the big criticism comes for Diogo Dalot, who got that yellow card, a warranted yellow card, mind you. And he does have this kind of outlandish, wild decision in him, but I'm gonna choose to not dwell on this one right now. United sat back very well when need be, and I've already said, their performances on the corners was significantly better. They actually took the game to Arsenal on those corners when you get Saliba and Havertz and them doing those slight little shoves. Like I said, Malacia was locking Havertz out like that. Harry Maguire was great, as he has been since Amorim arrived and he's been put back into his preferred back three system. Liniero was great when he came on, scored the penalty that he had to do. There was a De Ligt masterclass as he comes up with a great clearance and added time. And then the man himself, Altay Bayindir, the Redeemer. Never said anything bad about this man, not even one time, okay? I must say that he did have a bit of a shaky start to the game. He couldn't get any of his goal kicks or just general distribution on target. But he very quickly showed why Amorim still has faith in him. Incredible redemption arc from him. Penalty saves, commanding movements, man of the match. Very well deserved. Really well done. And then just to wrap this video up, because this is another match that I watched which was amazing, and I'm not going to dwell too much on it because I am planning a mid-season La Liga review type video coming up soon. But Real Madrid took on Barcelona in the Spanish Super Cup final in Saudi Arabia, and it produced yet another classic. Reading the Barcelona-Real Madrid scorelines over the past couple of games makes for some very compelling reading. There are more 4s and 5s in here than when me and my friends decide to go on a night out. Rafinha had a very, very big game, proving that he is still a big game player. 2 goals, 1 assist, plus he takes the medical kit off the pitch while Mbappe for some reason is undergoing open heart surgery in the middle of the pitch. Barcelona have basically been living in a simulation lately. The contrast between Laporta leading trophy lift celebrations to all the news about them potentially wasting tens of millions on Dani Olmo and more, to both Madrid clubs leapfrogging them in the league standings when these guys at one point had, I think it was an 8-point lead. And the crazy thing about this is if you contrast everything that I've just said with the fact that Barcelona should have scored significantly more goals than they did against Real Madrid had Szczesny not gotten himself a red card with about 40 minutes still left to play. Very interesting football club. Anyway, there we have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. What do you think about Man United Arsenal? Justice or no? That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.